Alright, bitches, so we're on to the next episode of Dragon Ball Super. This is episode 55, and this episode is called I Want to Meet Son Goku, a call from Zeno-sama, Omni King, the king of everything, whatever you want to call him. I am going to be curious to see what the English dub refers to when talking about Zeno. That'll actually, I'm very curious about that. Alright, so this episode opens up with Beerus waiting for Goku to arrive, and Beerus is super nervous. And when Goku shows up, Beerus, grabs him by the cheek and tells him, you motherfucker, make sure you don't, do anything that might, piss Zeno off, because he doesn't want, the universe to get erased or whatever. And Goku is wondering if it's about the 12 universe tournament that's gonna happen. And Goku starts talking I don't really have a lot of time. The time machine is going to be fixed soon. Do we really have to go now? Is it that far of a trip? And Whis says it's a 2-day trip one way for him. And Goku's like, I don't have time to go to someplace that stupidly far away. And Whis says, though, that with the Supreme Kai's help, the Supreme Kai can travel to Zeno's place instantly. Which makes sense, because we know about the Supreme Kai. It looked as though it was Kibito's ability in Dragon Ball Z, but I guess it is Supreme Kai's ability to just instantly teleport anywhere he wants to. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, that's another way that Dragon Ball GT 100% Lock It Down is not canon anymore, is remember, Supreme Kai and Kibito were still fused into Kibito Kai in Dragon Ball GT, and they're not anymore. So that is the 100% nail in the coffin right there, because even up to this point, you still, I guess, kinda could have slid in and said, Goku just never went Super Saiyan Blue or whatever, but nah, bruh, Dragon Ball GT no longer counts, fuck you. Now, Beerus says that he doesn't want to go because obviously, he is just utterly terrified of, Zeno, because if you do anything careless, the fact that he could just erase anything is pretty crazy if you think about it. Beerus does mention that he feels a little better knowing that the Supreme Kai is going to go with Goku. And then the scene switches over to Bulma, and we see that it looks like the repairs to the time machine are done. Then it goes back, and Beerus is asking, Goku, do you really intend to meet with Zeno with, just that fighting gi on? And, he wants Goku to wear something more formal, but Goku's like, if I have to do something that annoying, no way. And Whis is just he'll apologize to them and say that they were in a hurry, and that should suffice. And Beerus tells Goku, make sure you don't mention anything about the time machine or Goku Black, because that's definitely going to make Zeno very angry, time travel and bullshit. And Beerus also tells Whis to keep a close eye on the Supreme Kai. And Whis says, yeah, I know that. And Goku's like, oh, I'm surprised to hear you worrying about someone else, Beerus. And even I'm thinking the same thing, oh, okay. And then Whis just goes, oh yeah, the Supreme Kai and God of Destruction are a set. If one dies, the other dies too. And it's holy shit, what? So you're telling me that the 5 times when Majin Buu had the Supreme Kai by the asshole, that Beerus could have died? This raises so many questions. Because if you guys remember, there originally was 5 Supreme Kais. There was a Supreme Kai of the North, East, South, and West, and then Daikaio, the legendary one that Buu absorbed. Now, once we start thinking about that, what part of the Supreme Kai being linked to Beerus, how does that matter? Hasn't Beerus been around since before that Majin Buu stuff went down? You would have thought that the actual Supreme Kai was Daikaio, but that doesn't make sense because of Daikaio. Oh, but I guess you could say Daikaio didn't actually die. He was just absorbed by Fat Buu. Interesting. So, but that still wouldn't make sense why he would be worried if Supreme Kai died. So see, sometimes they're making these little changes that kind of bring some stuff into question, and sometimes they do it seamlessly. This one isn't really so seamless unless we can get some more talk about, what was going on with Supreme Kai and Majin Buu and all that nonsense. Then we see Zamas and Goas are still monitoring those aliens that they were looking at before. And they see that they're, fighting and war, and, Zamas doesn't look too happy. Then one of them goes to attack Goas and Zamas is not fucking around. He blocks the attack and sends the alien flying back. And the alien gets up and, starts to charge him. And Goas is like, Zamas, don't! And Zamasu says, nah, bro, fuck that. And he just creates almost like that move in the Cooler's Revenge movie where Zamasu, he gets like an energy blade on his hand, and you see he just shoots like a straight line and it cuts the alien in half. And it's like, oh shit, he just executed that dude. And of course, Goas is losing his shit about Zamasu doing that. Then they go back to their Supreme Kai world, and Goas is not pleased that Zamasu killed him. He mentions, all we had to do was leave. You never know, you don't know what that life could have done someday. You could have brought about, a significant change on that planet. And then it goes back to the Supreme Kai, Kibito, Old Kai, Whis, and they discuss going over to Zeno's palace. Old Kai says he's only been there 3 times, and Kibito says that he's never been there. And, they're pleading with Goku, please don't say anything rude. And Goku is like, oh, well, what, do I look like someone who'd say something rude? And they all at the same time go, yes. That shit was fucking funny. So the Supreme Kai teleports them over to Zeno's palace, and they meet a new character. His name is the Great Priest. The Great Priest is going to be the one that will take them over to Zeno. And, they apologize for Goku's outfit. That, they didn't have time for him to wear something more formal. And the High Priest says, it's not a problem, because for you, that is an attire of, formality. And Goku's like, huh? Yeah, I guess so. Alright, so after this, they're walking to go meet Zeno. And Goku tells Whis, the Great Priest feels really powerful. And Whis says, oh yeah, very good. He has one of the 5 highest battle powers in all of the universes. It's like, what? This dude is top 5 for real? Interesting. And Whis also says, don't, ask to fight him. Don't do that. And then Whis, says, even I, am no match for him. Which is crazy, because to this point, Whis was, the strongest character in Dragon Ball canon. Now, I think that Zeno, the Omni King, might be in a different category. He could just, instantly erase things. I don't know if that makes him the strongest. This High Priest guy might actually be, the strongest character that we've seen thus far. So then they get to the room, and, Supreme Kai is bowing, and Zeno is, really happy to see Goku. And Goku is just so casual, hey, Zeno, so, what's up? What do you want from me? And, Zeno, it's you might think, oh, okay, is something going on here? Does Zeno want to know about the Goku Black situation? Did he somehow find out about that? Does he have, a clue about Zamasu? Is something about future Trunks? What's going on? And then Zeno's just yeah, you're interesting. I want to be your friend. And it's what? What? And Zeno says, he just, Goku's so what do I do to be your friend? And Zeno is let's play. And everyone is just stunned. And Goku's and then the Supreme Kai starts talking. And he's yeah, Goku is overwhelmed at the chance to be your friend. He just doesn't know what to say. And Zeno just looks over and he's be quiet. And the Supreme Kai's yes. And, Zeno's calling Goku, Son Goku-kun. Obviously Kun is the honorific, which, I think you would say to a close friend or something. Or, just, I don't know, I guess affectionate or whatever. And, Goku's you can just call me Goku. And then, Zeno is alright, so what are you gonna call me? And Goku thinks about it and he says, Zen-chan. Now, of course, Chan is something I think you would say to, mostly a small child, and that's probably, why Goku's bringing out the Chan. And you see, the High Priest is, he giggles. You see, Zeno's attendants are fucking pissed, those dudes. And you see the Supreme Kai, like, all this sweat come down on his face, and he, like, collapses. And even Whis seems a little curious at Goku's, fucking around here. Goku tells Zeno that he's super busy and he doesn't have a chance to play right now, but as soon as he's done with that, he'll come back and play. And Zeno's attendants, like, they fly forward and they're like, watch your fucking mouth. And Zeno turns around and he's like, shut up, or I'll obliterate you. And they're just like, oh, sorry. And then Goku says, so as soon as I'm done with that, I'll come back and play, and I'll bring a friend who I think you'll like even more than me. And Zeno gets excited, and he says, okay, it's a promise. And they shake their hands, and I guess after Goku and Vegeta defeat Goku Black, I guess we're gonna come back and we're gonna see some shenanigans with the king of everything here. Now then, before Goku leaves, Zeno gives Goku a button, because Goku says, like, oh yeah, it seems pretty boring here, if you want to come to Earth and hang out sometime, you can do that. And Zeno then gives Goku, like, this little button that if Goku presses, Zeno will come right to him. So this is interesting. Like, I wonder if somehow this button, like, are they gonna have Zeno, like, be the one that takes care of Goku Black or something? But then again, it's not clear. Like, Zeno probably doesn't exist, like, outside of time or something. So if Goku's heading to the future, like, it's not gonna be the same Zeno and stuff. Like, a lot of this is gonna start getting super unclear. But obviously, this button that Goku has is going to come into play at some point, where if he presses it, Zeno will just instantly go to wherever Goku is. And outside, Goku is picking up the pieces of Supreme Kai. Supreme Kai is, like, fucking fainted. And the High Priest mentions that he would like to meet Goku again sometime. And Whis says, I'm sure Goku would like that a lot. And then they leave. Now then, they go back to the Supreme Kai's planet. And they're kind of like, all right, Goku, you mentioned a friend. What person were you talking about that you're gonna bring over to Zeno's? And Goku's like, well, I didn't really have anyone in mind when I said it, but I knew that if I didn't say that, he wouldn't let me go. And they're like, what? You tricked Zeno-sama? You dummy, you're gonna get the whole universe blown up. And Goku's like, well, I'll think about it later. And then they head back to Beerus' planet, and Beerus is like, oh, you're back, everything's okay. And then Goku's like, oh, you're too scared. Zen-chan is a great guy. And Beerus, like, passes out. Zen-chan? Yo, come on, man. This shit is funny, man. Alright, here we go. Then the scene switches over to Zamasu and Goas. And Zamasu gives Goas some tea. And Goas mentions that tea is a mirror to your heart. And of course, tea brewed with a cloudy heart will be murky or whatever. And so, like, clearly, Zamasu, we're witnessing Zamasu basically become fucking evil. And they start having an interesting discussion about how Zamasu talks about how, humans make mistakes and learn from it and build a better world. That's what they do. And Zamasu says, but from what I've seen, humans don't fucking learn ever. And he's like, I'm sure you, Goas-sama, you've seen many more examples of that. And Goas says that it's their job to wait for them to learn. And Zamasu seems really disappointed with that. He says, when I was invited here, I thought I would learn justice. But is the gods' justice merely just to watch over life forms? And here we go. Now the stuff that Zamasu is saying is really starting to line up with, like, what Goku Black was talking about. And Goas looks down and he's noticing that the tea is kind of, starting to formulate into even more, like, bad shit. And then Goas starts talking about, have you ever thought about good and evil? What is your depiction of good and evil? And Zamasu says, yes, I think about it all the time. Evil should perish, and justice is necessary for the good to flourish. And then Goas says, this line was really good. Goas says he thinks that justice entails bringing balance between good and evil. And he says that, even if evil makes you lose your way, stay your ground and keep searching for the path of good. That's what justice is. And it's that reason that the gods gave humans knowledge and wisdom. And like you see Zamasu, like his pupils are like dilating, like they're like shaking. And it's like, oh fuck. Like I'm seriously watching the scene. I'm like, yo, Zamasu is about to just kill Goaz right now and become like Goku Black or something. Like I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen, but like I can see it. Like the dude is like losing his shit. And like as this conversation is going on, the tea is getting like, murkier and murkier. And Zamasu goes, we mustn't allow evil to flourish. Evil is violence, like, those aliens. What are they called? The Baboians? Or the Babari? Yeah, the Babari. And then he says, and also, conceit like that of Son Goku, who would trade blows with the gods. And, like, the leaves that are kind of, like, swaying, like, they become, like, blood red. And, Zama says humans use their God-given wisdom to spoil the world. The humans who have gained wisdom are the true evil of this world. What good are gods if they do not destroy evil? And when he says that, you see the tea, like, warps and completely changes colors. And Goas is like, yeah, Zamasu, it's cool that you have a strong sense of justice, but, keeping your heart pure is probably a good idea, and you're not doing too good with that. And he also says that even gods are not perfect. Gods learn and grow. And then after that, he tells Zamasu to brew a new pot of tea, because obviously he doesn't want to taste this evil fucking shit that Zamasu just spit out for him. And then, you see Zamasu kind of like leave, and like he's walking away, and he looks up and he says, just watching over humans, merely watching them is a sin. And it's like, oh shit. And then, of course, I didn't expect this soon. The next scene is Bulma running up, throws the capsule, boom! The time machine is done. Trunks, Goku, and Vegeta hop in, and off to the future they go. And here's what this thing was interesting. Bulma looks, it flashes to Goku, then to Vegeta, and it's like, I think it actually went Vegeta, then Goku, and she's like, take care of Trunks. Like, something about the way she said that, like, it makes me wonder, like, is Trunks about to die in this upcoming fight? I don't know, like just the way that scene was framed, it looks like Trunks might be marked, but maybe it could have been referring to Goku or Vegeta, I don't know. Now, I still think Vegeta will probably be the one to eventually defeat Goku Black. That's just from what I've seen so far. But I suppose, I guess it would probably make sense if one of the three is killed by Goku Black. It probably could be Vegeta, but it probably could also be Goku. But Goku's not about to lose to Goku Black, considering he just got this button from Zeno-sama. So now I'm really starting to wonder if, the person who'll get beaten by Goku Black is going to be Vegeta or Trunks. And after they arrive in the future, you see a bunch of, Resistance members start shooting at Goku, because obviously, they think that Goku is, Goku Black. And then the episode ends there. And then in the preview for the next fucking episode, are you fucking kidding me? We see Super Saiyan Blue transformations fighting, and then we see Goku Black transform into Super Saiyan Rose. Looks to be a pink Super Saiyan transformation. Fuck me! Okay, I was thinking that Goku Black might have, like, an additional transformation we haven't seen yet, but I didn't think they were gonna bust it out this fucking quick! This is, like, gonna be the first episode of their battle? I thought that Goku Black would save that. I hope they don't rush through this fight now. This is what has me nervous as fuck. Like, I don't want this Goku Black saga to end. Like, I want another 25 episodes of this. This shit is, like, good. This is riveting. I don't want them to quickly wrap up this future Trunks Goku Black saga, and then we go back to meandering around bullshit. I like this momentum that the show has. I don't want it to lose it now.